right.
Good, man. You?
We had a really good jam.
Fuck yeah.
I'm really happy.
As
man.
always,
I'm
man.
really
As
happy,
always.
man.
Same here, man. I'm welcome to my humble abode from the
It's
studios of my living room. And
Hi.
dude, I'm glad you like it. You have fun? How was your day?
Yes, I mean, at the moment it's pretty stressful because I'm starting working again.
Nice.
I've started. Okay, wait, can we start over? Sorry.
We're good. We're good. We're good. We're good.
So, okay.
Just for the record, none of this is edited, so it's gonna go straight up.
All right. Okay. So
We got
So
this.
basically, because of COVID,
Yeah.
as you know, maybe not everyone knows, but
course.
I worked my ass off, if I can say that,
Yeah.
to be a sustainable full-time musician. And since COVID hit us out of nowhere, I had to start I had to start
day job.
working again.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's awesome, but it's not. And let me tell you why. Because
It's killing your soul.
yeah, man. Because you wake up in the morning and you realize that you're spending the next 8 hours working for someone else's future
Amen.
and not your own future.
So true.
And
So
after
true.
experiencing the fact that I woke up in the morning, I put on the laptop or the guitar on my lap and I started playing and practicing and writing new songs. And now I'm
Totally.
wasting that time in
Yes.
making invoices because it's like an account and
Shit.
stuff.
Oh, all right, that's cool. So is
Yeah.
that what you actually studied? Is that what you went to
I
university
have a
for?
diploma in banking and finance.
No way. That is so cool, man.
I worked at Benny for 4.5 years.
All
It's
right.
true.
What up,
So yeah. So like I used to work in banks as well. So
I know. You know what? I actually see you behind the bank with all the rings, with all with all your rings and stuff.
yeah,
with all the
I'm
rings.
actually cooler like
Yeah,
this. So,
always, man, always. We're all fans of rings, man, over here.
Yeah.
So no, that's really cool. I didn't know you actually had a
Yeah.
degree and you worked in banks, man. So
Yeah.
that killed your soul. When did you find music?
Listen, in all reality, music was with me through my darkest times. When my mom and dad
course.
separated, actually, like the story goes that my mom and dad both wanted me to play guitar.
Wow.
And my Holy Communion, they gave me my first classical acoustic guitar.
Yeah, 6 string.
And I went to a teacher, who I'm not gonna name, and he told my mom he doesn't have it in him.
You're joking.
No, I'm not gonna mention the name because he's one of the top in Malta.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's a jazz guitarist. Anyways,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
stop there. But the reason was, and nowadays that I'm mature, I can realize why he said that.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because he used to tell me like play C, play minor, play G, play F, for example, which are like chords. And I go home and I listen to something and I try to emulate that
Yeah.
with my ears. So basically, I gave fuck all to what he said and to what the homework was, and I was like doing everything I wanted to do.
That is awesome.
It is, but
That is
at the
really
same
cool.
time, I felt restrained, and he actually stopped me because he told my mom, "Listen, you're wasting your money.
Yeah, for sure.
You're wasting your money." And I
sure.
remember I got so angry. I think the first time I got angry in my life was when I was 7.
Okay.
When I was 7, and I stopped. Then I saw Peter Borch from the
course.
Electric.
Of course.
And he was like playing with back
Shout
then.
out to Peter.
Shout out to Peter Borch, yeah, definitely. Back then with the band, the Electric called Drive,
Okay.
back then in St. Aloysius College in the music room.
Wow.
And I was like 11, 12, because I was like Form 1, Form 2. And he was like this cool, long-haired guy with a Gibson SG and I think a Fender copy. I think it was a Squire.
Right.
Because we were all young that age.
Yeah, of course.
And it was like, wow, I won that, man.
I bet.
And I got my first guitar then. Electric was a BC Rich, the bitch model.
Oh hell yeah, man! Now we're talking.
With Delaney.
Yeah.
And it was pretty a metal rig. You would have loved it.
Yeah, dude, I could imagine.
would have loved
I could
it.
imagine. I've always wanted the BC Rich Beast NT with the red,
Oh,
with the red outline.
all right,
So that's
okay.
the one I've always wanted.
I wanted the Warlock, the one Slash used
Yes.
many times. But
He used. I thought he used. Yeah, he did use a warlock. For
yeah,
a bit,
he
and
used
then
you
also-
for You Could Be Mine.
That was a warlock. I thought it was a
Yes.
mockingbird. Dum dum dum. I
think it's a
It is a
mockingbird.
mockingbird. It is a mockingbird. Uh oh.
I'm not gonna show my guys. I'm not gonna show this anymore for now. So,
But
yeah.
you know what? No, I've never. Honest to God, I mean, you're one of the few guitarists that I've actually got to see live many, many times.
We met live.
Exactly, we met.
You
live.
want to tell the people how
Yes,
we met?
definitely.
We had I had a gig at the Thirsty Barber.
Yes.
By the way, no promotion here. Nothing like it's
Thirsty
just,
what?
Like it's just a story. I had a gig in a bar because this is not edited apparently, and
No, it's not.
this guy came out of nowhere and he was like, dude, and I was like, hey dude, how are you? Like, listen, stick around, man, after the gig. And I remember, like, we got a couple of whiskey and we started talking.
Yeah, I
and you
remember.
were speaking about, like, how you're coming back to Malta, you haven't got all your guitars on you yet. It was
it's
back
so
there.
true.
And I remember. I have a
Look
good
at
memory.
you, man. That's impressive.
And after all these years, we finally had the first jam. Today, 2020.
Actually, in our living room, man.
Oh
right
my
here.
God.
That is amazing.
This is
man.
the first time we jammed. We say we're
We say
gonna,
we're gonna jam every single time,
My
and we
God,
never
man.
manage. But I'm so glad we did, man. It's
Yeah, man.
it's crazy
Me
though,
too, man.
and how similar some of the stuff we grew up on,
Yep.
and so on. It's just because I guess it's also geographically and
Definitely.
so on. Obviously, being so close, and
Definitely.
culture being so close, and so
Definitely.
on. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, I was lucky enough to play with very good musicians.
Okay.
And obviously, music's like picking up a new language
Yep.
and so on.
Yep.
So
Yep.
you know, I was doing the whole Gaga Goo
it's a language
stuff.
on its own. Music is a language
Exactly.
on its own.
I was doing the whole Gaga Goo Goo stuff, and obviously, you know, you don't go up to a kid and say, "Hey, shut the hell up." You say,
Yep.
"It's how are you?"
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I mean, it was really cool. I got so much encouragement in that sense, which helped me out so much.
And in reality, in Malta, it's not quite like that, huh?
Really.
Because a lot of people, unfortunately, don't see music as art. They see it as hobby. They see it as a part-time
Oh,
job.
yeah, of course.
They see it as like,
Of course.
oh, you can still keep your gigs, but you know it will be like after work. But no, they said it's pretty hard to be a full-time musician, and I had 3 dreams in my life,
Right.
which was to play in orchestra.
Really.
Before
You did do orchestra a
Yes,
few-
I did.
how many times?
2006. No, as in I played 3 times in the
Right.
orchestra show.
Yeah.
2 times I was opening act.
Nice.
One I was just a guitarist. 2014 I was just an acoustic guitarist.
okay.
2016 I played during the show.
Right.
I played Paradise City by Guns N' Roses.
I've seen the video.
Yeah,
and that is
it's
killer.
like, so it's like, you know, like I grew up listening. Everyone knows I'm a Guns N' Roses fan.
We see the tattoos
having
and
to
so
play
on, yeah.
a Paradise City in front of 10,000 people, which makes like 20,000 eyes looking at you. wait. Alongside
Yeah.
Luca Colombo, an established Italian guitarist
I know who he
played
is.
Sanremo for like 15, 16 years
I know
straight.
exactly
Who
who he
collaborated
is.
with Max Pezzali.
Of course.
And everyone.
Of
and I'm playing
course.
and I'm playing the lead, and I'm playing the lead, and he's like,
Go,
he's like,
Kersten!
yeah. and I'm jamming with him with the whole orchestra and stuff. So, since I didn't sing before
Yeah.
2016, my dream was as a guitarist, what is the biggest show I can ever do? And
Right.
that in Malta at the moment, I think it's still orchestra.
That's so true,
So,
actually.
as a guitarist, as
Yeah,
a
of
non-singer,
course,
as a
of course,
non-singer
of course,
person.
of course.
And then I played as an opening act where I actually sang
Right.
in 2017.
Right.
The second dream was to be a full-time musician. And I actually achieved that. Of course, COVID ruined it all for me, but
amen.
hopefully it will go back. And the third one, it's a bit far-fetched, but it's to tour the world playing my own music
Wow.
to like people.
Wow.
But it has to be like gradually, of course.
Of course.
So I'm kind of like I'm down on many stuff on my life, especially on my love life. Because when I was
Ladies, he's single. All right.
yeah, I am single.
We'll leave his number in the system.
And I always
Or
struck.
should they leave their numbers on the comment section?
Yeah, they could. I'm gonna phone you all. I'm joking. But the thing is, in music, I got lucky, and I think I got what I deserved as well. I'm not speaking, you know, I'm a humble guy, so I'm
Yeah,
not
of
speaking
course.
from a point of view of trying to like show off.
course,
But everyone knows me, knows how much I work, knows how
To
much
be
I
honest,
play, knows how much I sing
so
at
true.
home all the time, and I've left a 20,000 gross per year job to live on a minimum wage, but doing what I want. And sometimes people focus, and that's the problem, coming back to the subject, that Malta sometimes has and the people has when these aspiring artists, because I see huge talents in Malta. And it gets I get so angry and frustrated when I hear the parents speak as if like music is just a hobby and it's sad.
Dead
because,
end job. There's no career with
because,
it. You
dude,
can't make
all
money.
the bands who made it, they
For
left
all the
everything.
musicians out there who are probably listening to this, what would you advise them based on your experience?
Dude, chase your dreams.
Amen.
Chase your dreams.
Amen.
Listen, it's gonna get tough. No high road is an easy road.
That's so true.
No high road is, but you might not get a lot of money. You might not get a lot of like a huge financial status, but you're gonna be happy.
True.
And that's something that I think in 2020 people are not focusing about being happy. They're focusing on materialistic stuff, on financial stuff, and the true happiness and soul. Which I think, if you're happy and if you keep on working and be happy, you will eventually make money. You will eventually be good in what you do. And if you keep on practicing your tool, your stuff, what you want, you will actually get better. Getting better means you get more gigs. So it's a whole circle.
That is so true.
But you have to start from nothing. And
so
you have
true.
to say, it's all right.
I've heard people say in the past, successful people who say, as long as you do what you love, money will always be a byproduct.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Money comes and goes. I remember myself going out every day and eating steaks everywhere. And I remember myself eating toast for a whole week.
I know.
And it's fine. And it's fine.
Exactly.
The thing is, if you're chasing your happiness, if you're chasing your goal, your dream, listen, we have one life. Approximately,
so true.
on
true.
average, we have like 70 years if you don't take drugs and junk foods. so you have-
40 in our cases. All right.
I think it's more 30 in my case. But yeah, I have 3 years. Anyways, but the thing is, unfortunately, our generation, our older generation, which are like our moms and dads, and I understand them, Noor, because they came up from poverty.
So true.
Post-war.
Yep.
So they, in their own minds, they want what's best for their kids.
That's so
and
true.
to have a financial stable job that can like cover you if you have a family, if you
provide
have,
and so on, yes.
It's what they want their kids to see, and it's fine. But I think we need to educate more that the true happiness is what counts better and much more important
That is
than
so
having
true.
money.
That is
And
so true.
if you go back to history and you see before, like pre-war, people used to do what they love. People got into construction because they loved doing that.
construction, yeah.
People got into like painting stuff and painting houses because they loved doing it. Then after the war, after the World War II, especially that hit Malta the most. I'm speaking about Malta.
That is so true. No.
because
Yeah.
I'm in Malta.
Obviously, we are here.
People started getting like, we need to get like educated. We need to like send our kids to the best schools.
Yeah.
We need to send like, and education plays a very good part, but education doesn't make you a good man. And what makes you a good man is chasing your own happiness. And for me and for you, it could be music.
Yes.
For someone, it could be.
Yeah, of course.
It could be having a relationship, having a family.
That is so true.
And it's fine. But why, for example, don't we have courses, full-time courses in our educational systems where they teach productions, where they teach music theory, why?
That is so true.
Why?
I mean, one of the biggest studios in the world is in Malta. I mean,
Yeah.
one of the best studios in the world is in Malta.
I think you're speaking about David's.
I am talking about David's. Yes, Temple Studios.
Rammstein
shout out.
recorded in the 90s.
Yes, exactly, man.
You
I
know,
mean, it's one of the best
you
studios.
know Rammstein.
And I've been,
Wow.
I mean, I've been around the world for doing music and so on. I've been into really cool studios.
You went there, right?
I've been to a few
It's
really
you went,
fun.
You went up
I went
and down.
up-
It's amazing.
Dude, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
I mean, I
It's a
walked
whole
in and I was
vibe.
like,
oh shit.
it's all right.
I got excited.
Somebody's having too much fun. All right.
No, I just got excited by David's studio.
That is so true, though. But again, you walk into that studio and it's just mind blowing.
It's like you forget everything.
Exactly.
And
Why
you just
can't
focus
we
there.
utilize? And obviously, you can learn so much from a person like David. I mean, shout out to David, man. Keep up the good job, and so much
Definitely.
amazing music.
And all
has
the other
come up.
producers,
And
not
all-
just David.
exactly. Of
Because
course.
I think we also have a problem. We said you're gonna be completely honest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Please.
I'm gonna
Very transparent.
I'm gonna be transparent.
Thank you. That's why I love you, man. Cheers.
I think we have a couple. I think sometimes people know their jobs.
Yeah.
But they don't know their jobs as well.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this. All right, you got to be politically correct on this one.
Yeah, but I will
Watch
be.
out
I
now.
will be. I will be.
All right, okay,
I'm just
cool.
going to say one thing.
Yes, please.
The artist
Yes.
is the artist,
Amen.
nonetheless.
Amen.
Because sometimes, and this is not just in Malta, because
Yeah.
I've heard stories all over the world,
Yeah.
and so I'm not putting any shade on anyone. Because I loved working with Peter, I loved working with David. Greg. A huge shout out to Peter because
shout out to Peter because exactly.
Peter was the first one who was like encouraging me to put the song because my first
he's
song.
He's an amazing producer, an amazing musician,
An amazing guy,
an amazing
we were
person.
like best friends.
He's an
so
amazing person.
I have total respect for the guy.
Same here.
So yeah, he's the first guy who actually like encouraged me to put
Wow.
my first song.
Wow.
Because I recorded Close to Home, which is like my first single.
Yeah.
I put it on in 2016, and I recorded it because I loved someone, and she had her birthday on 25th November.
Yeah.
And there was 25th November and 25th December, so they were like in a month apart. I had to buy 2 gifts, so I was like, dude, I'm gonna do something to amalgamate all into one. So I decided to do like a song that represented our situation, me and hers.
Buying
back
2
then.
gifts at the time.
Yeah. Into a song and a video. In fact,
Nice.
I didn't care about the radio. I didn't care about
Right,
anything because it's
okay.
like 5 minutes long. I couldn't care less. But the product came so good. I actually did it just for her, just
Wow.
to present her.
Wow.
Like, hey, happy Christmas, happy birthday. This is
Yeah, exactly. This
for
is
you.
a thing for you.
And he was the guy who said, dude, it's a good product. Listen, release it on like. So shout out to him, definitely.
Amen.
So back to the conversation. I'm not putting any shade, but there have been cases where like producers, sound engineers, managers, and even worse,
Villains of the industry.
booking people, booking
Yeah,
agents.
it's-
That's
yeah.
the word. Booking
Yeah,
agents. They feel that they can control the artist.
So true.
And I think in Malta, we don't experience that so much.
That's a good thing. That's a very,
It's a
good,
very
thing.
good thing.
That's a very good thing.
It could be because our market is small
Yeah.
at the same time. So you can't really like fuck up because everyone's gonna know. If you do something wrong,
Everybody's gonna know. Yeah.
But I've heard stories. I've heard bands, and I've heard like an amazing like. Okay, I lost my trail of thought.
No, you
And
cool.
We can't edit it.
it's cool. This is going up the way it is.
I've heard stories because I love like reading
Yeah.
about bands and stuff, where actually like managers and like producers and like booking agents they destroyed.
That is true. That is true.
And
There's a lot of examples out there of bands who are great who got screwed over by managers, who got screwed over by.
I don't know if you know the story of like Bruce Springsteen. Bruce Springsteen, for example, after the first album, he got screwed for like millions of money and thousands of money, and he spent 3 years not releasing any songs.
Of course,
and that's damaging for an artist, man.
Amen.
That's
that is so
damaging,
true
man.
because what happens is it's
loses
discouraging.
the
It's
soul.
discouraging. You lose your soul.
The artist loses his
and
soul.
to reach that whole point of peak where you could actually release music,
Yeah.
work with producers of that caliber and so
Definitely.
on. And if you lose a lot of money, it's so hard to reclimb that
Yep,
ladder because
definitely.
you're starting from zero again. Can you imagine going
It's
back to square one?
No, you're not starting from zero. You're starting below zero.
Below zero, because you have to rebuild your name and clean yourself up.
Because you rebuilt, you've successfully built your name to a certain standard.
That's so true.
And that standard is now completely got ruined. So you're gonna get off from even below the standard, man.
That's so true. That is so true.
Yeah, that's one of my men. That's one of my.
That is really cool, man. So
You're drunk.
I am a little bit. I'm a little tipsy. I want
You don't know how you're gonna lead on to the next
I have
part.
no idea
You're
how
gonna
this
be
is
like,
gonna-
yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
so here's what's happening.
Well,
So
cheers,
cheers,
buddy.
man. We're having a
Cheers.
good time. I'm
Yes.
glad you came over.
This
man.
is like iced tea peach, guys.
It is
Sorry.
iced tea peach. It's apple juice. Leave me alone. All right? Do not judge me. That's amazing. So you've been watching the news lately?
How can you not?
So where should we start? COVID? So no, but honestly, back to COVID.
Okay.
With that, how did you end up managing to? Having to
I
go back
went-
to normal. How did it impact you? Let's start.
No,
with
no.
that.
I listen. I went through a depression, and I
Really?
yeah, and I still get affected by it.
Wow.
Well, I'm a very sensitive guy.
I
I'm a
bet.
very
I bet.
emotional guy.
I bet. I mean, we're as a musician and an artist, you have to be
Yeah.
a good one.
And some people couldn't understand this, even in my own circle.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I spoke with my mom about this, and I spoke with my dad, and they both said, but you left your job, you did a mistake, blah blah blah, and it's even worse.
Of
I
course,
mean,
because you're being shamed over something that you
yeah,
love. Exactly.
and the thing is, as I told you before, I've worked my ass off all the years, and if like everyone has a lot of comments about me, everyone can agree on one statement, which is that I'm a hard worker when it comes to music, and I love that people, whenever they see me, they say, I know how much you practice, I know how much you keep on going, I know how much you work and how much you love this, and I can play pop songs. I stick with the blues and I stick with the rock, and I couldn't care less because that's what makes me happy.
That's your soul,
listen,
man.
I mean,
That's your soul.
I'm planning on releasing pop songs, and I've written pop songs with many different artists as well. What the fuck are you doing? You're drunk, man.
I'm not drunk. What I'm doing is I'm listening to you trying to release pop songs. That is what I'm trying to understand. All right, Kersten, we're friends, but goddamn, bro.
Yeah. Listen, there's still gonna be like ambient sounds, so it's still gonna be like. Anyways,
that's amazing. No, but I mean, that is
I,
amazing, man. Honestly,
I got really depressed, man.
I can imagine.
And unfortunately, it's no one's fault.
I'd like to go back to that for a second.
Definitely,
so when it comes to music, do you really tie yourself up to specific sounds and specific types of music?
I'd like to experiment.
That's amazing.
Actually, but I have my comfort zone. Which nowadays is the blues and the rock. I guess everyone knows that about me. But I love experimenting because I believe putting a little bit of a blues note into a pop song, and that can make something which is not entirely there at the moment.
True.
The pop song, the pop genre is not. It's actually the hardest and the most difficult one because it's always changing, and you always have to up your game.
Stick up to what's popular.
Yeah, definitely. And pop changes all the time. Like, to be honest, I know it's gonna sound a bit weird coming from me, but I really love Billie Eilish's work, for example.
Right.
Because Billie Eilish, if you go back to playing acoustic songs on her, you see she uses a lot of like the Beatles stuff back then, but into today's sound, and into not today's pop sound. Like it's not like an Ed Sheeran kind of like vibe or like an Ariana Grande kind of vibe. It's like underground. If it's like it was
right.
maybe,
Yes. Yes. I know exactly
and
what you
it made
mean.
it out there. And it made it out there. Do you know why?
No.
I don't even know why.
But I'm willing to listen. I mean, if you got this cracked, by all means.
I think it's because they didn't care about the formula. They cared about what they wanted to do. Like, for example, I heard like an interview where Phineas did a whole beat on like lighting up a match.
Yeah.
And instead of the snare sound.
Yeah. It's getting very creative.
And that's something cool. And that's something easy to do. Everyone can do it.
Exactly.
Everyone can do it.
That's so true. But are you as that creative? And that's where an artist comes into play.
I don't want to like put a cap on myself. Like I don't want to judge myself.
Please do.
I judge a lot myself.
Please do.
But I think
I think I need to mention this before you finish that thought. I mean, you are one of the most one of the few artists
Don't make
I
me
know.
feel shy.
No, it's true. You're one of the few artists I know who are heavily criticizing themselves with their work.
Definitely, all the time.
I know.
Listen, it could be affecting me bad at many times, but it's also good because you always keep your feet on the ground and you always work higher and higher.
It's not only that, but it's also hearing your latest work and hearing some of your older stuff.
Okay.
And I could see the progression. And my God, man. I mean, like,
people told me that.
With your last tune.
People told me that the last tune is the best tune I've written so far, and
Honestly,
that's like
some of your best work.
That's like something which I was totally unaware of, to be honest.
Amazing.
As I told you before,
Yes.
the song was meant to be like track 2 of the EP because the first song was the blues, which I released like hard rock a la kind of like Jack White vibe song.
I love that.
And it's like a power riff with a blues structure to it. Because I couldn't care less about the formula.
Because who cares?
And then the third song on the EP is going to be a pop song. It's going to be a totally different sound from what you can hear of Kersten Graham.
Nice.
And I realized that I need to put myself before that. So I decided to write maybe someday, and again, couldn't care less for the formula, and I put a 2-minute solo after it.
Such a great tune.
Inspired greatly by David Gilmour from Friends.
Right. So you got the comfortably numb formula going.
Yeah,
in there. No, it's not that formula. Should I say that the vibe? Because
the
I
thing
remember hearing
that David David. It's like if I know him, but Mr. Gilmore,
Mr. Gilmore.
Mr. Gilmore was like back then.
Yeah.
Even though they were doing stuff which is like maybe not pop, but
Yeah.
they couldn't care less if it's a 2-minute long solo or a 30-minute long solo. So he played what he felt it was right on
At
that
the time,
song,
yeah.
you know. And I did the same on Maybe Someday. And funnily enough, many people who are not like rock and blues lovers came to me and they said, "Wow, I could listen to this song all day." And that's like, okay, then my job is done.
Sick.
You know,
Job
like
done. Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of Pink Floyd fans aren't blues or hard
No,
rock fans.
definitely
because
not.
Pink Floyd was always like this separate entity.
Psychedelics, I guess, stuff. Press button to prepare. So, wait, it's not movie. They literally. We haven't started yet. Okay, so we had a bit of a glitch.
A bit of a glitch. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're cool.
Hi.
Yeah, it's kind of what happens. I need to fix that. Sorry, it's our first episode, so you're going to hear a lot of issues.
It's cool.
But we're cool. We're hanging out. We're having a good time, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. But
Please like the page. It's called Pod Forbid.
Pod Forbid. Pod Forbid on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Definitely. So
So we were speaking about
we were talking about Floyd and how
Yes.
some of the fans of Pink Floyd aren't really heavy
no.
metal fans. They're
No,
just because
no.
they had their own thing going. And
Yep.
they were more of a.
Yep.
I shared your song someday.
Okay, maybe someday,
On
yeah.
maybe someday.
Yeah.
On pages back home.
Okay, all right, okay.
And dude, it gets so much traction on. A lot of guys
I
love
appreciate
it.
it. I appreciate it.
Honestly,
Thanks, man.
because I mean. Listen, good music is good music. No matter what language it is, no matter
I
what
think
it is.
I don't want to sound like I'm like pushing myself up there.
But you are. You are out
But
there, man.
but I think it's a timeless tune.
is.
Which if you can like listen in a 5 years time, in 10 years time, it can still get the impact it's on today.
Because it's raw.
Yeah,
Not
and that's what I
overproduced.
wanted to work on about, you know, even the vocals.
Yes.
You could hear like a double-checked vocals, but it's
course.
like you can. I finished the vocals in 45 minutes. It was like a totally raw vocal take, as much as it could be. Even the solo is raw. If you are an analyzer on all the notes on the guitar, there are a couple of like which you can hear, but I love that because. I remember
Authenticity,
you can
man.
ask David Gregg from Sub Studios a huge shout out because
Shout out.
I'm doing the EP with him.
Nice.
I recorded it in one take.
Wow.
1 take, 2 take.
I'm
but,
impressed.
But the thing is, so I did it like in 1 take solo, but it isn't the first take. But the whole solo was like we recorded it on a whole take, and then I remember I got pretty like insecure about a couple of notes, and I called him and we set up a session
Right.
back in the studio, and we couldn't get the sound of the solo.
Dude.
So we then said,
Keep it.
okay, we're gonna keep it as
You
is.
know what? Destiny's destiny. Everything happens for a reason.
And he can verify it. So
Yes.
it's true
No,
because we
honestly.
tried, and it was like we set up the same. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
know exactly
There's a
what
kind
you're
of
talking about.
energy when you record in the studio,
Of
and
course.
if you leave that studio,
That's it. It's gone.
The other day, it's gone.
It's gone.
It's totally gone.
It's gone. You can't capture it.
Nothing. Not you can place the microphones exactly the same.
No,
but
forget
you
it.
won't have the same sound.
Forget it.
Ever. So technically speaking, now I'm glad. I was very insecure though before.
Dude, I'm so happy
I
to
was
hear
very
that, man. I mean, even with such great guitarists like yourself and so on.
come on, man.
No, it's true, man. I mean, you could still have that, the insecurities. Because I used to
Yeah.
get it as well, but then I moved on to digital. And I know I had to.
You're gonna have
I
this
had to.
conversation
I had
now.
to, but I'm not gonna go into it.
No, don't.
Anyways, but moving on.
Okay.
So, with regards to COVID and how it affected you, so what other stuff have you actually been able to do to help you pass that depression phase?
To be honest, not much. But no, but listen, jokes apart.
Yeah.
I had to like swallow and accept the fact
Yeah.
that I can't do anything because my life was waking up in the morning, as I told you, jam and write songs, and then in the evening I go for a 2-hour gig.
Yeah, I know.
I have a drink with my friends, and then I go back home.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, and that's when I felt that I've improved a lot as
That's
an
true.
artist, as a singer, as a guitarist, as everything, as a whole package, I guess.
Yeah.
But COVID isn't like you losing your job because you're not doing it well. COVID was something that it was you could never plan it. You could never like. Okay, maybe if I saved some money, maybe I could have gone. But listen, I believe in like living the best life you can because you only have one.
Yeah.
And I prefer living high and low, and being happy than living high or low and staying stable all the time. Because stable is boring, man.
So
stable is boring, man.
is boring, man.
I want a stable relationship, but
It's not helping.
but but in music and when it comes to like a daily job, stable is boring. Stable
So
is
true.
boring.
I mean, routine is boring.
Yep.
That's what you're saying.
Yep.
I mean, I do not see myself. Well, I shouldn't say that, but I do. I mean, obviously, desperate times call for desperate
Yep.
measures.
Yep.
But I do not see myself working for anyone anymore. Personally, I've reached that stage in my life where right now
That's the biggest struggle I had.
Exactly, because
That's the biggest struggle I had.
achieving somebody else's dream is
And,
the issue.
yeah.
and only to have a person who does not understand you on so many levels.
No, man.
You know what I mean? To have a person who would try to force you to do things you really don't want to freaking do, and especially
Yep.
with us. I mean, when it comes to artists in general, I'm not just talking.
Listen,
about, but I mean,
listen. But
artists in
a
general.
true artist has a free spirit soul.
Amen. And that's
And
what I
a
was
true
about to say.
artist, and a true artist wouldn't let anyone like command him to do stuff he doesn't want to do. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So, and I believe in Malta, I've heard so many people who come up to me during my gigs and they say, I used to play guitar, I used to play guitar, I used to have a band, I used to have two, I used to have three, I used to gig a lot in like Tinia back then in Malta, and then what happened? Now I got a family and I had to like, okay.
That's
dude,
a reoccurring thing. Actually,
That's-
I know.
that's-
I've had people come up to me
okay,
and tell
it's
me the same
nice to
thing.
have a family, but listen, why lose your dream?
So true.
Why?
So true.
It makes you feel sad at the end of the day, and it's not nice. It's not helpful.
But was it their dream? To a lot of people, they try it. No, listen, at the same time.
Listen,
at the
I
same
believe
time,
if it was really their
the dream,
dream,
they would have done
they
it.
would have done it.
Exactly.
You know?
Because this is how I see it. I see a lot of guys who come up to me and go, listen, I used to play guitar, but it was only to get chicks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you go, right, so? And then what?
Yeah.
All right, you got chicks, now you're married, now you got kids, and?
So?
You know, have you achieved it? Is
But
that what you wanted?
That means that
But that's
it
a different
wasn't.
story. It wasn't really.
It could be their dream, but it wasn't in their soul. It wasn't
It
there
was- it
burning
wasn't.
there.
It wasn't.
It wasn't there burning.
It wasn't. It was, unless it's real, it will last.
I forgot to mention, I was so depressed. I spent 2 months. I'm not joking. I'm
Yep.
not kidding. Not picking up a guitar.
Wow. And that must have been.
It was in March and in April.
Really?
In March and in April,
Wow.
I didn't pick up the guitar
Wow.
because I felt so sad. I felt so angry at the current situation. I felt so helpless that I said, picking it up, jamming on it, knowing
Yeah.
I can't go play live, it's gonna suck.
Did the government do anything for artists?
No, definitely. I received the supplements,
Right.
so I can like easily say I received.
Yes.
I became.
But that's
became
amazing that
unemployed.
actually the government took care of
Yeah, no,
artists
they did.
and so on.
Okay, of course. Like I know they helped us, but like for example, I rent and
course,
and
as we
my
all.
rent is 2/3
All right.
or even more
Yes.
of the government
Of course,
supplement.
of course.
I'm not gonna say the price.
Yeah, yeah,
but
no, no, it's cool.
but I couldn't live off.
Yes.
From that, so I had to like suck it in
Yeah.
and say I need to find a job, which. In all honesty, I'm blessed.
Yes.
Really, during the times that people lost their jobs,
You found one.
I found a job. It was a bit like, it was a bit like funny because people worked and I stopped working because I wanted to do full-time music. And when they stopped working, I got back into like, it's so
Irony.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
exactly.
But as I told you before, I had to. There was no other options. There was
Yeah.
no others. Of course, now I understand that the fees dropped
Yeah.
and that the availabilities are slowly starting to like
Yeah.
arise, but they're not like the same as busy as before. But I'm hoping. I don't know about the second wave. I honestly don't know. About
It's like,
the
I don't
second
care
wave.
about the second wave.
Wait, I don't. But I don't know if it's gonna happen or if it's not. But
Yeah.
I figured.
Third, I think at this point.
I figured I have to work up until 2001 for sure.
Right.
To maybe try
And get back on your
think-
feet on that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man, and I'm not doing this to self-victimize myself or anything.
Of course, man. We're just being honest.
Every time I wake up in the morning, I feel sad.
Really?
Every time, every day. Don't see me now as
No,
like
I
having
know,
fun.
man. I know, man.
But because I have to, like today, I woke up at 6:30 and
Do you find it hard to go to work?
yeah, I spent 2 hours on the bed, like snoozing my alarm.
Really?
And I woke up at 8:30. I took a shower. I left at 8:40,
You're a
and at
rock
9
star,
I said,
aren't you?
"No." But I just said I was like literally like waking up and sleeping, thinking of like how I shouldn't go to this job. And by all means, they respect me, they love me, they
That's
care
amazing.
for me.
That's amazing.
But to me, it doesn't make me feel whole.
Right.
It doesn't make me feel like I'm investing in my own future, and
Right.
and I have a problem with that. I have a huge.
I could imagine.
I have a huge, of course, alongside with like love relation, love stuff problems, which at the moment are so high.
I
I'm
heard a
higher
lot
than how high I am at the moment. but the thing is, apart from all that drama and jazz and shit,
Yeah.
yeah, it's not the best of times. But I'm trying to keep positive as much as I can.
That's amazing, man. I mean, honestly, it's. I could imagine, and I totally
Last week I
understand.
finished 2 other songs of my EP as a demo.
Congratulations.
So I'm.
When are you
I
releasing
felt-
your stuff?
Well, I was actually going to release it like in September of this year,
But
but because of COVID, now I don't think like I'm still gonna try and release before 2021 starts.
nice.
I'm still not sure about it.
Right.
But now the songs are all finished.
Yep.
So now it's just me going to the studio, talking to the guys who always play. Shout out to David from Sub Studios, John Paul on the drums. Basically, that's it. because David plays the bass, so I do all the guitars.
I thought you played
David
with
plays
Anton.
the
I thought you
bass.
played with Anton.
Antoine Tonna.
Yeah.
No, but we have a rockabilly act. It's very cool.
Right.
It's a
That's
very cool-
amazing. I
it's a
saw
very
a few videos, and
Yeah,
they're
it's a very
tight.
cool- It's a very cool.
And I saw the Rockabilly Act, man. I saw
a-
you guys at Crossroads, and it was.
It's a very
spot
cool
on.
act because rockabilly is like a crazy genre, man. They're like crazy people, huh?
I've got a few friends that play Rockabilly, and they do.
And they're crazy, man.
These guys are a different breed, man.
Dude,
These
they're
guys are a
crazy.
different
They're the
breed.
craziest, man. If I knew, listen, rock, metal, country guys, they ain't got shit on the
It's so
rockabilly.
true.
Zero.
So true.
They are.
They're a different breed,
Oh
man.
my
They're a
god.
different breed of human
but
beings.
no. I am. The thing is, I think you know. I love working with many different musicians.
That's true.
And the reason why is because I'm a solo artist, so I can't employ someone to be. Sorry.
Don't be. It's fine. It's all good.
It's the apple juice.
I thought it was iced tea. All right, iced tea. Iced tea. Remember?
It's iced tea.
It's iced tea peach.
The thing is, since I'm a solo artist, I can't really employ people to be like in my act.
Yeah.
So I have to play with different musicians based on their availabilities.
Yeah.
But Antoine Tonna is like my 1-2
Amazing.
bassist.
He's amazing, man.
I always play with like David, the guy who records my
Yes.
stuff, because the guy who records my stuff knows exactly my stuff.
Yeah.
And Antoine, and it's all just like if the vibe is there, and they all know each other, and we're all
course,
friends.
of course.
And one thing I'm really happy about myself, due all this. I don't know if I used the English correctly.
That's
Anyways, is that every session musician wants to play again with me, and that is like a huge like satisfaction,
that's so true.
satisfactional thing, because it means that I respect these musicians enough to want to play with me again.
Yeah.
And that's a problem that even Malta has, that they don't respect the musicians, not the singers. The singers, they respect them,
Yep.
but the musicians, the backing musicians, that the singers couldn't do jack shit without them, they don't respect them. And we have to shine a light on these people, on the guitarist who's playing there. And, you know, they have to have recognition just as much as the singer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You have to stay closer to the microphone.
Yeah, I'm
All
not
right.
used to this.
I know. You get used to it. It's just a matter of time.
I'm used to more of this shape than this. So. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just for the ladies.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I guess.
Cheers.
Cheers. It's so good to have you around, brother.
Yeah.
Honestly, it is so good.
It is all raw
We're
and
gonna do
real.
more of this because it's crazy. Because I was looking at the news lately. So with the subsidies,
And in a year's time, this project is going to pick up. And in
hope
a
so.
year's time,
we'll see.
we're going to do the second version of this episode.
We'll see.
Where I'm going to be less drunk on apple juice.
thought you don't get drunk on apple juice. All right.
Well,
So,
stuff
hey
happens.
man, this is a rock and roll lifestyle, baby.
Yeah.
He's a rock star and
It's
he's
all good fun.
representing.
It's all good fun.
That's really cool, man. So back to with the government. So because I was looking at the news lately,
Yeah.
obviously foreigners, there was a time where they don't get anything. They were giving vouchers
Yeah.
out. So what are your thoughts on that as a Maltese person?
Absolute shit.
Really?
Yeah, because I listen. There's no such thing as foreigners and locals to me.
Right.
It could be that I'm heavily influenced by the blues,
Yeah.
and the blues. If anyone knows the blues came from like African American people,
Yes.
and they sang about hardships. They sang
Amen.
about breakups. They sang about losing their jobs, their families, their loved ones. I heard a story once where apparently in like Minnesota or I think it's Minnesota, there were there was like a flat. The land is always flat,
Yeah.
and if people are working like in crops and stuff like that, they could actually see a guy going to their house, meeting their woman.
Right.
And they couldn't do anything about it because
That
they're
is actually
working.
true.
And
That's
they
actually true.
finish work and they grab a bottle of beer or whiskey and they sing
Hearts out.
their hearts out. And coming back to that, it shows that we're all one people. You are from Libya, I'm from Malta.
Yeah.
I don't consider me different from you.
Same here.
Nothing. Even if we're in Malta. And something that bothers me a lot at the moment is the huge racism we're facing in Malta.
With regards to the migration process, all right? to
Everything,
migration
everything.
issues.
The latest one is the one, I don't know if you see, the one of the Miss Malta contest or the
I
Miss.
heard she's 11 years old. I think
a couple
she was
of days ago.
Yeah.
I don't know how she is, but someone posted a comment where he said, "She's not our breed," as if the Maltese don't have a breed. If you take the language, we have Italian, English, Libyan, and Arabic.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah,
Arabic.
yeah.
We have Anglo-Saxon, which is German. And we're so like little fragments of
We're mixed.
everything.
We're mixed, yeah.
So how can you call that a breed? Why are we still in this day, in this age, in 2020, when I realize people like Ray Charles, like the Beatles, they went through it in the 60s, the segregation
Yes.
times, and we're still in 2020, almost 60 years later, man.
Yeah, it's true.
We're still going to the same, I'm sorry to say, fucked up things. Because there's no words, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
But,
It's fine.
you
It's
know,
fine, man.
how can you base your respect
Yeah.
based on the color of the person? Listen, I used to live in Bujibba,
Right.
where many people say that Bujibba, there are a lot of
Yeah.
black people and
Yeah,
they cause
yeah,
trouble.
of course.
And do you know who caused most trouble? I'm not putting any
Yeah,
shame,
yeah, yeah.
but the white Serbian guys,
Right.
the white
Yeah,
Serbian
yeah.
guys. Back then, in my streets, they caused more trouble than these black people. Now, listen, I don't have anything
Against
against
Serbians, of
nothing.
course. No,
nothing.
no, no,
I'm
just
just
shout out.
speaking
I mean,
about. I'm just speaking about like
in
an
general,
argument.
yes,
You know,
exactly, as an argument of race.
Because I believe that the same thing as a black guy, as a Serbian guy, as a Maltese guy, everyone can get angry, everyone can lose it, everyone
Everybody
can make a mistake.
Exactly.
Everyone.
Exactly.
And it's fine.
There are assholes in every race and every
Yes.
country and every
and
nationality and,
if
so
you
on.
make a mistake, for example, let's speak about
Listen,
the Captain Morgan thing.
Hold on a second.
The Captain Morgan
Hold on a
thing.
second.
What
I'm a
happened?
Libyan, all right? And
Okay.
as a Libyan that lives in Malta right now, you think I don't know what Libyans did back in the 90s? Of course I know.
But
You know what I
listen,
mean? So-
listen.
So everybody...
Everyone has a history.
Exactly.
No,
Everybody
everyone has a history.
Amen. But in 2020 is what you're trying to say.
It shouldn't be any. Shouldn't be any judgment on this stuff.
Exactly.
Shouldn't
the judgment
be.
should be based basically on skin color.
The judgment should be based on how you treat people,
Yeah.
not how you look.
That's amazing.
And that's how the world should be. Well, listen, I'm a very romantic and sensitive guy, and I believe in love. And it's not just love between me and the woman. It's love. One of my favorite bands is Guns N' Roses, but the second favorite band is the Beatles.
Right.
And the Beatles, they sang all about love. And it's not just love between me and the girl. It could be love between me and a group of people. It could be love between me and my friends. And the thing is, what's missing in 2020 with
love.
all this drama is love, man.
Is love,
It's
man.
love, man.
We need to love more, man.
Is-
Amen.
Listen, I still condone any acts, any people does. Listen, like for
Exactly,
example,
no matter what.
for example, let's speak about this Captain Morgan stuff that happened a couple of like weeks ago.
Yeah. So basically, what happened was a boat owned by Captain Morgan.
Three boats.
Three boats.
Apparently.
Three
I
boats
think
owned by
that
Captain
two or
Morgan.
three.
I'm not aware.
Either two or three, but there was more than one.
Okay.
But anyway,
so more than one boat actually got hijacked by illegal immigrants.
no. Basically, what happened was that our government wanted to like wait for the European Union's action to see if they could let them
Right.
in our country. In honesty, I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
My argument with all the people I speak is,
Yeah.
we've been in the European Union for years now.
Yeah.
We have many places in Malta, like many warehouses which
Yeah.
are abandoned.
Right.
Why can't the government?
Spend a bit
Why
of money.
can't the government put a warehouse,
Yeah.
one warehouse,
Yeah.
where they can put a sandwich and 2 bottles of water,
Yeah.
50 cl bottles of water.
Yeah.
How much would that cost? €3 per person?
person, nothing.
€3 per person max?
Maximum.
Listen, don't leave them outside on the sea. Put them in, even if you have a problem. Okay, because you try to understand both sides of the story.
Of course.
And there are people who, it makes sense when they say that we're overpopulated, and sometimes it is overpopulated,
Yeah.
and it's true. But you can't forget the human element, man, that you're leaving people outside on the sea. You can't.
Thank
you
you.
can't, man.
Thank you.
You can't.
That is actually very true. Because
Listen, at least keep them in for 3 weeks. At least feed them like €3 per day. It's nothing. It's nothing. You know how much me and you pay taxes
Exactly.
every day?
Exactly.
It's nothing. You're doing something that, listen, these people came here or went out of their country because they couldn't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
What if it was your son? What if it was him? What if it was you? What if it? That's what I think about when
That's
I see these
amazing.
things.
Yeah, no,
and
100%.
at the same time, these people apparently they were on these Captain Morgan ships, and they were like getting food and drinks, but they wanted to rebel. They rebelled.
Yeah.
That's still bad.
Of course.
So it's not
course.
about any race.
Yeah, of course.
Or any. It could be Maltese. It could be blacks.
It could be
It
Libyans,
could be whites. It could be
it could
whatever.
be anybody, yeah.
What's bad is bad for everyone.
Yep.
Everyone. But why should we let people suffer? We should understand that these people, they had all. Imagine me and you selling all our guitars, all our equipment, to leave this country, to find a better future, dude.
Yeah.
And the moment you reach a new promised
Place.
land,
Exactly.
like how Bob Dylan used to sing,
Exactly, the promised land,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
The promised you realize that you're being rejected from it.
Yeah.
How would that make you feel?
Very bad. Especially if you have.
If it was me,
Yeah.
I would kill myself. I'm gonna be straight honest.
Wow.
I've been suicided many times. I'm
Oh,
not proud
yeah,
of it.
yeah, of course.
I'm
We've
not
all been
proud of
there.
it.
We've all been there.
I'm not proud of it.
Yeah.
But if it was me struggling and putting all my money to save me and my family,
Yes.
and seeing kids
Yes.
who have dreams, 5-year-old kids on the shore, dead. Dude,
It's sad.
That's sad.
It's very sad. But I mean, this is
What
something
about their dreams?
Because-
How do we? I'm sorry, I'm
No,
speaking.
please,
I'm sorry,
please,
but
by all
how
means.
do we consider them as 40 immigrants? Those 40 immigrants, each one of them, they have a dream, like me and you, dude.
It's true.
So it's just a number to us. It's just a number to people, to governments like Italy or other people who are like next to us who are. No, man, they are human beings. They have. I'm gonna speak honest. I'm
Please,
gonna speak honest.
Please do.
When I was young, I was always a rebellious guy.
As we all were.
Yeah. when I reached finally to the age of 18, I had a huge fight with my mom, and she kicked me out.
Right.
And I went to the police station. And the police, then he told me, you can't do anything else. You're 18.
Yeah.
So if you're 18, if your mom told you, for example,
Leave the
and I have nothing against my mom. It's like normal fights
Mom.
and stuff. It's okay. But this is when it hit me the most, because he told me, if you're 18, you are responsible on your own. And you know what I said to him?
What?
Crying with my tears out. Does it not make sense that the first requirement of a person's human being is to have love and a place to be safe.
Wow.
That's
the shelter,
first.
basically, yeah.
And
Love
do
and
you know what
shelter.
he said? You're right, but the law isn't like that.
Wow.
And it's sad, man.
It is sad.
And it's sad.
It's so true.
It's totally sad because, okay, maybe I was not strong in all the things I went through.
Yeah.
But in these stuff, I was strong, and I fended on my own, and I started a new life on my own. By 19, I was renting in, like other
That's
people
awesome.
were like was.
That's awesome,
In
man. Yeah,
Malta,
exactly.
in Malta, renting at 19 is not like in England or like in Malta. People leave their homes when they're like 29 or 30.
I've seen people who are 40 and still live with their parents.
Yeah, I know guys who are like that. So in Malta, it's still like a bit. Oh,
Libya is the same. Libya is the same. Like, people don't.
shit.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah.
Libya is the same. People don't leave their houses till they're like mid 40s, or they get married. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So it's
until
just-
they get married.
And that's
Yeah.
what I love about the culture here is that's so similar.
No,
It's
it is,
crazy.
and that's what I don't understand when it comes to this racist comments.
All right, yeah, of
Because we're so similar, man.
Exactly.
Because we're so similar, dude.
Exactly. If we
And
look at what
you know
makes us
what?
the same.
And you know what? I'm sorry to say this like
Please,
live on air.
please, go ahead.
But I don't know if you remember. How long have you been in Malta?
For 4 years almost.
4 years. Maybe you don't remember. Back then, back 10 years time.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Maybe you heard the stories, but
Yeah,
you don't
of course.
remember. Because
Yeah.
I remember actual people I know
Yeah.
traveling to Libya
Right.
to work.
Of course.
And do you know why they travel to Libya to work?
Nope.
Because they used to travel for a month.
Yep.
They make so much money in Libya. No, this is true. This is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
That they work for a month and they
Yeah.
come back a
Yeah.
whole month and they
Yeah.
do absolutely jack shit, nothing.
Right.
And they feed off their family and everyone is
course.
happy. But do you know from where the money came from? From working in Libya.
Africa.
And then people coming from Africa now,
Yeah.
we're pushing them away. That's so egoist, dude.
You know what? It's actually pretty interesting that you said
That's
that.
so egoist.
Because I was looking
Many,
at the,
listen, 50% plus one
yeah.
of Malta's people here, children like my age, their mom or their dad, sometime or in some place, they worked
Yeah.
in the oil companies
In-
of Libya,
yeah.
and they are who they are today
Yeah,
because Libya accepted them
That's crazy you say that.
to work them. And we can't accept to help people for like a week
Yeah.
or a two. Maybe we're overpopulated.
Yes.
Maybe we can't keep all. Maybe we're going to like
Yeah.
put people in different. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not saying we have to keep them all. But at the same time, you can't. In December, there was the news. 2 weeks,
I remember that.
I was feeling cold at home. At home, dude.
Speaking of which, what's up with Maltese houses and not having insulation?
Yeah, but listen,
I
Malta's all fucked up.
I won't go with that. But I was just saying, guys, whoever is a contractor, please work on insulation on
But the
Maltese
thing,
houses.
but the thing is
Yeah.
because we have a lot of humidity.
Exactly, during the summer, yeah.
But listen, the
Yeah,
thing
'cause
is,
again, back into
when
when
you
it was
think
cold
when
in
you
the
think
summer.
about it, man, when it was in December, you were drunk, dude. You should pour more apple juice.
I need to put more apple juice. We're getting there.
When you think about it, man, having 2 weeks on a boat
Yeah.
outside on the shore with massive waves because it's in December coming in at you. I felt cold from Zabbar. I'll let this out. like, let alone these people, man.
That's true.
And how can you not have a heart
Yeah.
to let them, even in like an abandoned warehouse, and you give them a mattress and you say, listen, sleep here for tonight. We'll see
Technically,
tomorrow.
the EU funds that in some point, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, what do I know about
but
immigration?
Listen, I don't know because it's all bureaucratic and it's all like, yeah, there's. But we've lost so much of what the world should mean that we think more about our status,
Yeah.
our money, and what affects us
Yeah.
rather than what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what's supposed to be is, listen, I was a Christian. Now I'm a spiritual guy.
Right.
Because I don't believe in religions, because I believe that religions actually destroy communities.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But the Christians and every religion
At
say
some point.
that you should love the other persons. And you hear these people commenting, and it's sad. Dude, it's sad.
It is.
if you go on these links when they publish the news, the comments, the racist comments you see,
be honest,
the people that they go every Sunday, praying to God, all right, and they don't let the brother out. If you're from Libya, hey, let's speak
For
me and
example,
you. You're from Libya, and I'm from Malta.
Yes.
What do you have different than me? You have absolutely nothing.
Pretty much.
There could be a Maltese guy who doesn't understand music, and I could much more relate to you
That's true.
than
And
to him.
Amen. That is so true because I'm the same. But right now, this is what I'm a firm believer
And
of
that's
that.
sad, man.
I'm a firm believer of that because we have so much, and also as a Maltese, if you think about it, we have so much more in common. Now, a lot of the people that come from immigration isn't Libyan, all right, but there is a lot of them that would come,
right.
but they come through there. Now, think about it. If you think about crossing the desert, crossing the sea,
Do you know how much? How?
and putting your family
By the
through
way,
it with
by the way,
kids and babies
in a small dinghy, yeah?
In a small dinghy,
It's not like a
exactly.
Costa cruise or a Messi cruise, dude.
That is so true.
It's like a small dinghy that
Not a-
four
not
people
a-
actually go on a
exactly.
Sunday.
It's not the Sunseeker.
You know,
Exactly.
four people on the same dinghy
Yes.
that you have to go.
Real quick. All right. Small dinghy.
So on the small dinghy that usually four people go out on a Sunday having fun, blah 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 blah. There are like 40 people there with their kids, man. That's sad. You have to
is.
help them, dude.
It is. It is.
You shouldn't think about money. You shouldn't think about if we need to pay more taxes to support them.
Yeah.
Yes, I prefer that
Yes.
than having these politicians put money
In their pockets.
in their pockets. Which I'm going to lead you to your next question. You see how good I am?
Yes, you are. Oh, that's the best to have on your podcast. If you got a podcast, get Kersten Graham on it.
I think I'm going to be on this podcast more than once.
Oh, you better. Oh, you better. Oh, you better. Oh, man, this is going to be fun. But yeah, which is the next question.
Yeah. What's the next question?
All right.
You're doing the podcast.
Fair enough. Fair
I'm
enough.
the
I'll do
guest.
my job now. All right. Since that you let me actually speak at this point. But yeah, no. Going back to that, which will lead me to corrupt politicians, which is we have a dead a reporter, a journalist who is trying to expose specific people, and
I was one that I at times adored
yes,
and at the same time couldn't stand.
yes,
Not because of a certain party.
yeah.
Because she put out on
Dirt on
Labour
both.
and
Dirt
everyone.
on- She's doing her job as a journalist.
But no one should go out like that, man. No one should go out like that.
That's
And
so
I
true.
hope that not only these people get what they deserve,
Amen.
but that they rot in hell.
Thank you.
Because taking out someone's life, not to expose,
And a mother above all.
it's
a
wait,
mother.
a mother, a wife,
A
partner,
a sister.
whatever, a friend.
It's true.
It's a human being. The same thing I spoke about. The
Get closer
people.
to the microphone. Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
So the same thing I spoke about people coming. We're all humans. Why are we forgetting that? How can you live in a moment where all you think about is trying to blow up a person
Yeah.
in that manner, dude?
That is true.
Why?
Very dirty, and it's just the way these people operate. However, I mean, it is very sad, and I hope to God they get what they deserve.
But the thing
very,
is,
very soon.
you know what the problem is? Corruption has been, I think corruption has been part of the world since ever.
Yeah.
And that's sad as well. For example, recently I heard a story that, no, it's apple juice, dude. It's not whiskey. It's not. Listen, there's my glass. Okay, so this is like. Okay, so guys, if you haven't noticed, I've released a new single. It's called Maybe Someday. You can find it on YouTube. Also, I'm gonna be playing a huge gig live at Exiles at 11th July. I'm good at commercials as well, right? With the band and stuff. So, like, please feel free to join. Call Exiles for reservations. Please be
Reserve
fast.
your tables. You're welcome,
'cause
Daniel.
It's gonna, yeah, it's gonna be an amazing one.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to our cheers to the apple juice.
Cheers. Apple juice. Cheers, y'all.
Anyways, back to my original conversation. I've recently heard that apparently when Adolf Hitler,
I love how you're comparing the people that killed her to Adolf Hitler.
yeah, and let me tell you why. Because Adolf Hitler, when he signed the peace of treaty back in Germany,
Yeah.
way back, he was already planning on starting a war.
Right.
And that's how corrupt a man.
Yes.
That shows you.
Operates.
That shows you.
No,
And that shows you that sometimes what you see and what the media tells you is not exactly what it truly is.
So with what's happening right now, some say that they've been involved with a lot more money than was actually declared. So this is exactly what she was trying to expose. So with that, it's just first of all, on a humanitarian level, I think it's very sad. And that's coming from me as a Libyan who
Dude, no one should deserve that.
Nobody.
No one.
And this is coming from a guy who comes from a country where there's a lot of people who have had that sort of ending to their
But do you know what? Do you know what I found funny? What I find funny?
Go ahead.
Let me tell you something. Maybe you haven't thought about it, but
Go ahead.
maybe I've seen it way more than you because I live in Malta for much more than you. So every time we find a cat dead, or we find a dog killed, or run over the streets, we'll be like, and sharing posts and stuff like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And if a woman is,
Been executed. Yeah.
dude, a
assassinated.
bomb, like, oh my God,
It's so true. It is dirty. It is
Listen, maybe she hurt people, maybe she exposed people, but
Nobody deserves that.
Nobody deserves that, man. Listen, no one, let's say the majority of people who might be seeing this either believe in Allah or believe in God.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's your followers, my followers, people in Malta, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Both religions.
Speaking of which, my followers will not like what I'm doing right now.
Whatever. both religions.
Yeah.
Both religions.
Yes.
They don't tolerate this type of stuff. And that's what's wrong.
We have more in common than anything. Trust me.
That's what's wrong,
That's what's
dude.
crazy. That's what people don't seem to realize is that we have more in common between us as people than anything else.
We're all-
Have you ever seen the page on Facebook called Defend Malta?
Can I tell you the real truth?
Please do.
I got to know about it
Right.
because of the comment you put that
Oh,
you wanted
right.
to interview one of
Right.
them.
Speaking of which, if there's anybody,
I'm actually being
honest. All right.
But listen, guys, we haven't talked about the conversation. He said it's going to be like a normal conversation,
Yes.
so we haven't planned any of this.
We haven't.
But the thing is, they put a status,
Right.
and you told them if you
Yes.
want to speak out what you want to say, and
Exactly.
it's good.
Exactly.
When I went on their page,
Yes.
bro,
Really?
I wanted to block them, man.
I know what you mean. I know. I wouldn't say it's a. I mean, it's a point of view that needs to be seen.
Listen,
All right? Because
but-
they're part of our society.
Can I tell you something?
Yes.
I'm sorry if I'm gonna hurt people.
Yeah.
But no, it hasn't. It doesn't need to be seen. And let me tell you why.
Please.
Because it will engage more anger. It will engage more hatred to
You
these
think
people.
so?
Yes.
Okay.
And let me tell you why. Why the hell? Because I'm gonna like to keep it like,
Yes, please,
standard.
go ahead.
Why the hell? When people are protesting in Black Lives Matter,
Right.
these people
Showed up.
showed up on the same day,
Yeah.
at the same place.
Yeah.
Why? So you're not even, sorry, the word fucking man enough
Yeah.
to choose another date.
Yes.
Okay, fine. You want to protest?
By all means.
I agree. You want to protest and show what you feel? Go ahead. But can't you be respectful enough to do it on a day?
Yes.
Wait, in their own defense, where you can actually be heard. How can you actually be heard when there's someone who's like protesting against Black Lives Matter, which the whole world is protesting about? You're actually wasting time.
Police brutality,
Dude,
yeah.
what the hell are you doing? You're trying to prove a point that you can never, ever win.
That's true.
Ever win. I have nothing against these people of Defend Malta. Nothing against these individuals. I have my own thoughts. I respect them
Yes.
for what their thoughts are.
Yes,
I
of
respect
course. Everybody's
everyone.
entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
Everybody.
This is my opinion.
Yes.
And if I want to be judged, I want to be judged on what I feel.
Yes.
And it's fine.
Yes.
I am not judging people.
Of course.
Zero.
Of course.
But for Kersten Graham, for me, I believe if you are really religious, every religion if it's Hinduism, if it's Buddhism, if it's Muslim, if it's Christian, if it's Protestant,
Yeah.
everything, they all say the same thing. We're all brothers and sisters, bro.
Yeah, of course. I 100% agree.
So
The problem is,
people might believe in Allah,
Yeah,
God,
of course.
Muhammad, in reincarnation, and stuff like that. But all the religions say,
We love each
that
other.
we're all brothers
We're
and sisters.
humans, man.
And
We're
that's what I
humans.
love most about John Lennon.
Amen, bro.
When he wrote the song Imagine, which is covered a lot, he said, there's a line where he said, imagine there's no religions.
Yeah.
And
No religions too.
no
There's
religions
no heaven. There's
too.
no religions too. There
no
we go.
religions too.
Yeah.
Because I believe that the religions, not necessarily now in Malta, and I think all around the world, but back then, they used to control the country.
Yeah.
They used to
The
control,
church used to control the country. Yes.
like for example, I don't know, in Malta we had a problem when Archbishop Konzi,
Yeah.
way back then, said if you were a Labour
Yeah.
Party enthusiast, you can't receive Christ in your body.
What?
No.
Speaking of which, how long ago was this?
This was like, I don't know, but it was post-war. So,
So
it's
this,
not,
is, so this is recent. You know we still
60,
have.
70,
You know we
like
have
that.
the same thing going on in Libya right now.
It's sad,
It's
man.
crazy how you get some of the people.
So you
man.
say that because of politics you can't receive
Yeah.
Christ or Allah or whatever. You can't.
Can
Oh
you
my God,
imagine?
man.
Can you
Dude.
Exactly.
So it's because, let's say, but this is the thing. I was born in Malta. If I was born in Libya, I would
Yeah.
be maybe Muslim as you,
Probably,
or
yeah,
I would
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, if I was born in India, I would be maybe a spiritual guy
Exactly,
before being
exactly,
Christian.
exactly.
And so this brings me. So just because we were born in Malta, we are entitled that because we're Christians, that we like do this stuff and let not like migrants come here. Listen,
It's amazing you say that because not
when
everybody
the
thinks
war
that way.
when the war ended in Malta,
Yes.
the Maltese people fled to Australia and to Canada. They were migrants as well. Maybe they were not illegal
Yes.
migrants,
Yeah.
but
Times
they
were different.
fled away.
Times
But
were
they fled
different.
away.
Yeah.
They fled away because in their minds they couldn't make it here. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with? Listen, and do you know what I find funny?
Tell me.
We're in the European Union. you see
know exactly where
where
you're
I'm
going
gonna
with
go.
this.
You
I know
see where
where
I'm
you're
gonna
going
go.
with this. I know where
So
you're
we're
going
gonna go to a like, oh, everyone is all together. We're all one. We're all. It's fucking bullshit.
is.
It's all just about power.
is.
And listen, a little side note: Germany, the whole World War II, they lost it, but they still are still winning. The European Union is all based on what Germany proposed, on what everything. Anyways,
Fair.
not throwing shade, but it's true.
Yeah, I've got German friends, all right? Now watch out.
Yeah, but it's true. Ich liebe dich.
I love it.
Yeah, I used to
I
take
love it.
Germans. I used to take in like
German school?
No, I had like in St. Aloysius College.
Right.
We had like Maltese English and Italian.
How were you in school, though?
No, I was pretty. I was like a nerd.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not see that one coming.
Yeah,
I
I
did
was
not
like
see
a
that
nerd.
one coming.
Yeah.
All right, so-
I mean, the thing is, I had a photographic memory.
Right, so you were gifted.
I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. Thank you, God.
Gifted.
No, but the thing is,
I was the exact opposite, man.
really,
I
my
suffered.
sister was like that.
I suffered.
and I hated people who compared me and my sister.
I suffered from learning math. That was it.
That was one of my favorites.
Really, I think it played a role. Did you like your math teacher?
My math teacher was hot as fuck.
Oh, maybe that's what. My math teacher was an Indian guy.
But
All right?
then in form 4 he was a guy and yeah no but
I love how
listen,
you had hots for the teacher, literally.
listen the hottest teacher I had was the German teacher.
So that's why he speaks German. All right.
I only know 5
Deutsch.
phrases. I only know 5
Five
phrases.
phrases, which are. All right, let's show off your German right now.
Ich liebe dich.
All right, I love you.
Ich bin fantastisch.
You are fantastic. Or I am fantastic.
I am
I am
fantastic.
fantastic. All right.
Ich habe Kersten Graham. I am
I'm
Kersten Graham. Du bist scheiße. You are shit. And Du hast.
That's how you know you're a Rammstein fan. Oh, I love it. All right. That is impressive. Deutsch
That's
as well.
I told you, I only know 5 statements.
That is
in
very
5
impressive.
years of 4.
That is impressive.
No, dude, 5 years of St. Aloysius. I only got 5 phrases. It's like a phrase a year. It's not good. Anyways.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. Cheers.
Cheers.
That is
Anyways.
brilliant.
Back to our original subject.
Dude, we're all the same.
Yeah,
We're on the same page.
I was a nerd, but even back then, what I hated was competition.
Really?
I spoke to you about it
Yes.
before.
Yes.
I've had friends who their goal was
To become a better person, a better guitarist.
to be a better mela. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
My mom and my dad always focused on me doing school stuff.
of course.
And I think I was still lucky to experience the last bit of MTV when I was growing up. Back to when there were still Depeche Mode playing songs, The Darkness, Love Is Only a Feeling, and stuff like that. That was when I was doing my common entrance and junior college exams.
Yeah.
And what I couldn't accept even back then was the competition. Because, okay, I had a photographic memory. So I was like watching MTV all day. And as soon as my mom comes in the door, I'll be like, oh, yes, I'm
Books.
studying.
I'm studying.
I'm studying. And I actually like study for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And okay, maybe I'm gifted to have like a photographic memory.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I see something, that's it. And it's fun.
Wow.
And it's the same with music. If I hear something,
That's it.
it's-
That explains a lot.
You know,
man. That explains a lot.
we jammed on Bob Dylan songs
Yeah.
earlier. You didn't tell me the key, and
Yeah,
I found the
exactly,
key
exactly.
straight away. I'm not trying to like
No, but it's
show
true.
off.
No, it's true.
But the thing is,
Yeah.
I have like this thing where like
Which is a talent in itself.
yeah, could
It
be.
is a talent
But
in
anyways,
itself.
I don't
Yeah.
want. Anyways, but the thing is, there was even competition between like what I considered friends, and even the prize days and getting prizes for like the exams. Okay, it was all
Honor rolls
fine.
and so on, yeah.
But why? Why should you like
Compete.
compete? We should all learn together. We should all.
That is beautiful.
We should all like listen. If I can learn this in 30 minutes and you can learn this in 1 hour, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Dude,
I was
that
gonna
is-
say something else,
but
but it's totally
Yes,
fine.
Yes.
And I'm glad. I'm happy because I've spoken on a lot of negatives that happened. I'm glad that the common entrance and what I don't know if you know about this. This was an exam
All right.
that only the males did at year 6 to go into private religious schools, which were like
Right. Okay.
St. Aloysius colleges, Savio College, and for
Right.
example, you had if you got from 1 to 50. This is like competing against like 7,000 children.
Wow.
I got 42 on my age.
Look at you.
I was that much
Out of
of an
50?
out of 7,000 people, 8,000 people.
You came in 42nd.
42nd. And
Wow.
the reason was because my mom wanted to put me into Savio College, and the Savio College had their criteria as
Quite
being
high.
from 1 to 50 only. So if you're 51, you can't enroll into Savio College.
It's only the top 50.
And I told her, if I come from 1 to 50, you have to buy me my first mobile. Because my friends had mobiles and she never wanted.
Yes.
And I worked my ass off just to get the mobile, and that's it.
That's it. Like,
and
I want a mobile
and I
phone.
came 42,
Yeah.
and chick was like shouting with happiness, and she was like,
course.
"Hey!"
Super
you
proud,
came
I
with-"
bet.
And I was like, "Don't forget to buy the mobile now! Hey, go buy the mobile!" And she actually
What
did.
was your first mobile?
Sharp GX15.
You're joking. Like
It
the
was
proper one?
It was the first like touch
That
LED.
screen, I remember that.
Yeah,
I
man.
remember
And the
that.
second one was like the first slide phone, the Samsung D500. The first
Yes,
slide
I
phone.
remember those.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
man.
Anyways,
What year was that? Do you remember?
2005, 4
I
or
graduated
6.
high school. So we're about almost the
How
same.
old are you, Lord?
I'm 33.
Oh,
You?
so you're gonna die like Jesus.
Okay, that was nice. Thank you. Thank you, Kersten Graham.
I'm joking. I'm 26. I'm gonna
26.
I'm gonna be 27.
You're joking.
I'm going 27 in 15 July.
Dude, what are we doing for your birthday?
11 July, I'm going to play in Paradise Exiles. So
know.
it's all like a birthday
That's a
celebration
birthday.
thing.
I was supposed to do my birthday this year at Exiles, but COVID.
We're going to do it. Well,
But COVID.
Oh, you heard
31st of May.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. But you know what to come to? Your birthday, which is going to be at? Say to the camera.
11 July, Paradise Exiles. Please come.
That's Lima. Live music. There's going to be some great sound. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great bash. Who's playing with you that night?
So the band confirmed that is Daniel McAuliffe on the guitars.
Shout out to Daniel.
Antoine Tonna on bass.
Oh, shout out to Anton.
And Jean-Paul Borge from the Busker.
Amen.
They're amazing people.
That is awesome. Shout out to
I
all
love
the
them.
boys out there. It's going to be fun. So thanks for coming, man. Thank you so much for hanging out.
We're going to wrap it up. We're going to ask me one last question.
I'm going to ask you one last question.
Which is?
Who is Kersten Graham?
Oh my God. Are you
Here's
ready
what-
for the next 2
no,
hours?
Here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say, what is one thing that people don't know about you that you would want them to know about?
That I'm a very, 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 very thoughtful, sensitive guy, and I want the happiness. I want, man. If there's something that I believe in,
Yes.
is that I faced hardship myself.
All right.
Take two.
Take two. And moving on.
I faced hardships myself.
Yeah.
I've went through hell and back, and what I found out is that love is the answer to everything.
That's very true.
It is very true, but many people don't see it,
That's true.
and it sucks. And last time I was speaking to my friend.
Yeah. So
And
what
I
is
said-
what is it that people don't know about you
About me. Well, that I'm
that
not
you would want them to know?
okay. I'm not confident as much as I look.
Oh, shut up, you.
No,
I've
I'm
seen you
not.
on stage.
But the thing is this. Okay, you're speaking. I'm gonna speak it.
Speak it.
Honestly,
Honestly,
public for the
straight from
first
your
time.
heart. Yes,
for the
from your
first
heart.
time.
That's what I want to hear.
Do you know why I seem confident?
Tell me.
Because I create a bubble,
Really?
and I don't care about who's listening, and I just care about what I want to listen. It could be selfish. It could be not selfish, but I will do it to make myself feel happy and better. So that will eventually make people feel happy and better.
That's amazing.
I am very insecure about myself. I am very insecure about my playing. I am very insecure about my singing. I am very insecure about how I treat people. I am very insecure as a person. I am a huge overthinker. But
That's what makes you a rock star, man.
But
That's what makes you a rock star.
but I really believe that love is the answer to everything. And
I love how you always go back to that.
because
I
you know
love
what?
how you always
Let me
go
tell you.
back to
Let me tell you why.
Go
Let me
on.
tell you why. Why do you play guitar?
Wow. I play guitar because I love it.
You see, because you love. Why does a football player go play football? Because he loves it. Everything. When I speak about love, it's not just a relationship between a man and a woman or a man with a man. It's everything we do.
That is so deep.
It's
yeah.
because we love. By the way, yes, what you want to know is I'm a very deep person.
That is very deep.
I mean,
Which leads me to my next question. What is it?
that's what she said.
This leads me to my next question. All right. What is it that you don't want people to know about you?
I can't say if they want.
I don't care. Well, you're on my podcast now.
I don't know. What is it that I don't want people about me?
Know about you. Yeah.
Nothing.
Other than you are extremely drunk right now.
Nothing. No, I'm not.
You're
I'm
not?
not.
You tipsy?
No, nothing.
You good?
I'm just high.
That. Yeah, forgot about that. Exactly.
Listen.
All right.
In all honesty,
Yeah.
nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
That's amazing.
Do you know why?
Tell me.
Because I don't mind if you don't like me. Not you.
Right, yeah. Of
I
course.
don't mind if
you-
as a
if
person
the
out
person
there
doesn't like you. Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I respect that.
That
I
is-
totally respect that.
How hard was it to come to peace with that?
7-8 years.
7-8 years.
Yeah.
Because
when my mom and dad,
really hard to
when
come
my
to peace with
listen,
that.
what happened was like a quick run through. My mom and dad separated when I was like 11.
Right. I was
Actually-
around the same age. Oh, by the way, I was in my teens.
Yeah, it
when
was.
happened.
I enrolled into Form 1 of like my secondary school, and all shit hit the fan in December. So it even wasn't like the first semester out.
Yeah.
And back then I had to be strong for my family and for my sister, who she's 6 years younger than me. So I had to wear a mask.
How was you? Are you just a boy and a girl?
Yes, a boy and a girl.
I was the same, but I also have extended family. Obviously, I have brothers and sisters from other moms.
Okay.
And that's crazy. It's crazy how similar we are. My sister is about 8 years younger than me, and I have another sister from another mother.
Okay.
She's 4 years older than me.
All right.
Yeah,
so you're like in the middle.
I'm right in the middle. I'm the one.
No, I was the biggest, and I had a younger sister.
You don't have a Maltese brother as well.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later.
So you had to tell me in the podcast.
I'll tell you.
We've been knowing this guy since like 2 years, and this is the first time he told me this.
Yeah, I'll tell you that.
Anyway,
I'll tell you about that later.
Cheers. And the thing is, my mom told me something back then that really changed me. She didn't say it to destroy me, of course, but once she turned up to me and she said, "Now you're the man of the house." And when she told me that, I forgot who I am. I forgot my feelings. I put everything into a closed bag and left it there. All my feelings, all my insecurities. And I had to take care of my sister as much as I can, as much be there for my mom and
Of course.
do stuff that a normal 12-year-old guy shouldn't do.
Did you deal with it?
Yeah, but the thing is, I dealt with it when I was 23, 24.
Is your mom and dad still alive?
Yes, both of them.
Bless them. I hope they get the...
23, 24, I think 12, 13 years later, I dealt with it. I spent...
Did you do therapy or...
Yes, I went to a psychologist.
That's really cool, man. No, I mean, honestly...
No, I'm going to tell you... You have time to tell you a short story.
Please do.
Yes, okay. So basically, I was in love with someone again with love. Again with love.
I love you. I love you, Kersten Graham.
Because the thing... Okay, cheers another time. Because the thing is... when my mom and dad separated, me being the rebel guy I was, and I still am, I always wanted to have a family that would never separate and would show people listen, I can do this, and I did it better, and so since, in fact, my first girlfriend and the first time I lost my virginity was when I was 13.
But you were 13.
Yeah.
Dude, I won't mention the year I was.
No, you have to now. No, I mentioned. You have to.
Fine, I was 16. I was a late bloomer. I was a late bloomer compared to you.
But it's fine.
But you were a minor at that time. A proper minor.
Yeah,
but
but
at 16 is fine.
Yeah,
in some countries it's all right.
But the thing is, there was a hole in my soul.
Right.
So I wanted to fill it in with someone else.
Yeah, of course.
And that's a bad thing.
Exactly it.
That's a bad freaking thing.
That's exactly
because
what it was.
you can't fill someone else's hole.
Can't.
You can't.
No.
And I got to know that later. And I reached to a certain point where I had a huge meltdown, and I was in love with someone when I was 23, 24.
Wow.
And she suggested to go to therapy. And I took it badly against her. Okay. And I broke up with her for that particular reason.
Wow.
But then I decided to go. And when I went...
Did it help you?
For the first time ever in my life, I set all my past insecurities away. I don't know.
I set it free.
Yeah, I did.
You set it free, man.
And this is why I have this tattoo. You want to tell people why something maybe... Okay.
No, it's fine. If you don't want to share it.
So basically no, it's fine. So basically, for all you guys seeing there, I have this part of my body for my music, which is this is the Gibson.
Is that a Les Paul?
This is a Black Beauty. You can see from the logo.
Right, yes, of course.
Right? You know why I tattooed this?
No.
Because when I did this, I still am not able to afford it. The Les Paul Black Beauty costs a lot of freaking money. And I wanted to have it, no matter what. So I have it here. If I don't buy it, I have it here. And this is not a Les Paul model. It's a Black Beauty model.
Yes,
you can see from the logo.
Yes.
And this is my side of the body where it's my
musical influence.
This is my life.
Wow.
So, for example, if I'm going to explain my tattoos to you.
Please do.
This is my date
For
of,
those who can't see it, it's basically dice with a crown and a
and
skull
I have
on
two
fire.
skulls left or right.
And you have the two skulls on the crown, left and right.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is like
With
three
stones,
dice.
with three dice,
With three
and
dice.
with three dice and stones on the crown.
Yep, and definitely this means that. Wait, first of all, my birthday is 15 July,
Right.
so it's 1, 5, and since
6.
there's no 7,
Yes.
there's 6 and the one showing here.
right.
So you can see like 1, 5, and 7, right? Now this was a tattoo on its own first,
Right.
and it was because this is my first birth of date, right?
Yes.
My 15 July, and this is because way back then they used to crown the kings with a
Right.
crown,
Yes.
where it was open here.
Of course.
The kings, the queens were closed.
Yeah. Oh,
The
okay.
kings were
They're
open.
open. Right.
The kings were open because the kings were thought that they were much more like intelligent than women back then,
Open-minded.
and that it should be open because they receive the knowledge from God.
Okay.
It's
right.
an actual thing you can actually Google.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
can
yeah.
see.
I actually never knew that.
So,
that's amazing, man.
so the crown
Yeah.
of the king
Used to be open up. Yeah.
open up because they received the knowledge from someone higher above.
A higher being.
This means that no matter whatever I reach in my life,
Yeah.
there's always someone up there.
Wow. That's awesome.
And this is the crown with my birth of date. This,
Yeah.
which I continued on,
a skull.
is a skull,
Yeah.
which has a one eye open,
one eyeball.
and
the
a
other
one
one's
eye
on fire,
dead.
On fire. Yeah.
And this is means that you're like this today, dude. In a second, you could be like this. So whatever you have to do now, just do it.
that is it. Yep.
Now, about the whole thing of the relationship with my family and stuff. about
We got it.
about the whole thing, about what I told you when I
with the family.
because this is the last tattoo I did.
Yeah.
So here basically is a timestamp where this shows when I actually was born. It's like 4:15 in the
You
morning.
were born at 4:15 in the morning.
Yeah, 15 July.
Nice.
There's a guy with a guitar,
I love that.
A small guy with a-
love that, bro.
and there's a gate,
Yes.
and it's called family,
Family, and
and
it's
it's closed. Because that's how I felt for a whole like 13 years.
Dude.
Because I felt like I was like on my own, and I kept it on my own. I did what Freddie said, show must go on, and I did that completely. But when I finally was
content,
relieved
content.
from it, with the help of my psychologist, I decided that it was still part of me.
And it made you who you were today.
And I put it, it's like I put it out from here, and I put it here. Because it's who I am.
That's-
And the girl who I'm going to marry is going to have her face here.
Really?
This is free.
Ladies, if you want to be on Kersten Graham's arm, you know what to do.
Because coming from a family that got separated,
Yes.
having to actually getting married with someone
Yeah.
means much more than getting a tattoo. People told me you're crazy if you're gonna tattoo it, but I said I'm not, because if I'm gonna go through that road ever,
Yeah, it's got to be serious. It
I
is
know
what
it
is.
will never end. I know
amazing.
it can never end.
That's amazing. What's your criteria?
What do you mean?
What do you want in a woman?
Just to love me as who I am.
Really? So what do you like prefer? Like I'm very superficial. Man.
No.
Shit. I was
I've
thinking
had
he was gonna say
blondes.
blonde with big
I've had
boobs.
blondes. I've had big boobs.
Brunettes.
I had big asses. I had brunettes. I have big stuff now. I've had small stuff too. But listen, the
Dude,
latest.
how small?
The latest one is a 19-year-old girl who I'm deeply in love, but
That's amazing.
I can't be with her at
Yeah,
the
of
moment.
course.
So
Okay.
it's tough of life. But
Fair enough.
yeah, shout out from here. You know who you are. I'm not gonna mention any name.
How many shout outs have you done so far?
I
man?
don't
Stop
know.
using this platform to give shout outs.
It's gonna do you good.
That's why I love you, Kersten
I'm
Graham.
joking.
That's
You
awesome.
see, it's
Yes.
all about love, dude.
It's all about love.
Everything is
all about love.
Why did you do this? Because you wanted to do something
different
you want to
than others.
pursue, and you want to do something you love doing.
Exactly.
Right. So basically, everything we have around us is all because of love.
Based on love.
Yep.
And on that note, we'd like to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Kirsten, for coming by, man.
Thank you very much,
You're
mate.
very welcome, brother.
I hope,
Dude,
please,
We're gonna do
Pot
this more
Forbid.
often. Please like the page, Pot Forbid. And
There's gonna be like next interviews, but I'm gonna be on here
he's
really
definitely
soon.
gonna be back. He's definitely
Yeah.
gonna be back, man.
I have to.
Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.